Hello, Javier. Good day to all of you, and welcome back to Javi TV. By the way, this time we will discuss about Guppy Fish Crossbreeding mistakes. But before anything else, if you're new here, please consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our videos. And please watch this video till the end so you won't miss important advices for crossbreeding that you didn't know yet. So let's get into the video. Lack of patience or breeding impatience. I understand that sometimes you need to have fast result or quick outcome when it comes to crossbreeding. Fish keeping is a patient hobby. Plants take time to grow. Fish take time to mature and develop adult colorization and finnage, and as well as to crossbreeding. These things can't be rushed because if you do so, things might get bad for you, or you will not obtain the traits that you want to. Patience is the number one virtue to possess when starting out on your guppy fish crossbreeding journey. Lack of patience has to be the number one mistake when starting out cruising. It is understandable that you will want everything to happen quickly, but remember that this is a living, breathing fish and it takes time to settle and become stable. Believe me, you will thank yourself for being patient in the long run. Breeding incompatible color traits. Crossbreeding guppy fish can be tricky sometimes, and if you don't have any knowledge or enough knowledge of what kind of strain do you want to cross, then just pause for a moment and analyze first or what would be your preferred traits to cross. Some inexperienced hobbyists tend to cross incompatible colors like breeding red color guppies to their opposite color. To tell you, when doing this experiment, the chances of acquiring your preferred traits are too small, and of course it will take you several years to come up with a result that you like. To be safe, you need to cross strains that are close in color for a faster result, like what we did when we crossed red mosaic to koi guppy, because they have that close color in our previous video. No record keeping. One of the most important disciplines needed when working with any livestock is to keep good records. You should be able to tell where are you already in your crossbreeding experiment or producing potential traits on what stage or level, or it should be crossed to other traits from what generation. Keeping records now will be useful in future generations. Record keeping is simple and helps to keep track of the progress of a particular strain that you want to produce. For example, for each drop you should keep track of the number of young, the number of males and females, or how many culls do you have, and or are you close already to your goals. This way you will know which fish through the preferred traits that you want. Accurate records will allow you to trace back through generations to see what steps you took to achieve your ultimate goal. not understanding the basics of breeding like inbreeding, line breeding, and outcrossing. The best advice is to obtain the best fish you can afford. Get a strain that is already established and does not need much work to begin with. This can be purchased from a reputable breeders in your area because guppies are normally sold in trios, one male and two females or pair. And this is just a recap because we already discussed this in their previous video. Inbreeding. Inbreeding is a mating close relatives such as brother to sister, mother to son, or father to daughter, and etc. And line breeding. Line breeding is the breeding of two separate lines branching from the original trio with eventual backcrossing, or the breeding of distant relatives such as half-siblings, cousins to cousins. Outcrossing. Outcrossing is a mating of two different pure strains which are compatible. This could mean fish of the same color that are obtained from two different breeders, and this method is what we use to apply when producing new strain from our current guppy strains. Not enough breeding tank or fry tank. Do not make the mistakes that most beginners make. You go to a breeder and see many beautiful strains that you would like to keep or crossbreeding or purchase several strains. The number of strains that you can keep is determined by your tank space, though you can maintain strain with just a few tanks. It takes 8 to 10 tanks to properly keep a strain or more than that when doing crossbreeding. Don't take home more strains that you can handle, as even experienced breeders fall into this trap. It is best to start with 2 to 4 good strains and get experience, and if possible, expand and enjoy yourself. The fish you should be looking to purchase should be young and healthy and about 2 to 3 months of age, because fish at this age ship better and acclimate easier than mature fish. Not knowing the guppy fish basic care like maintaining the pH level, water temperatures, good water conditions, proper feeding, filtration, and etc. And we all know that we already discussed these things on our previous videos, so you need to watch for it. Don't have enough knowledge on selective breeding traits. Selecting is easy once you know your strain. There are 4 easy steps that you can use to select males. Number 1. Pick out the largest fish of the drop and make sure they sport thick caudal peduncles so they can carry large tails. Number 2. Look for a wide triangular caudal shape, because by now dorsals should show signs of elongation or parallelogram shape with smooth edges. And number 3, caudal and dorsal should match in color and pattern. Eliminate any fish with curved spines, flat heads, or which does not show a good intense color. And for females, females should be selected and bred 2 to 4 months of age. The steps used to pick females are: pick the largest of the drop with the thickest caudal peduncle, just like on males. And female of this type tend to throw the best show males. And look for the largest and widest caudals possible with dorsal to match. And if someone show the desired color, use them for crossbreeding. When doing the crossbreeding, I understand that some of the traits mentioned earlier are not yet visible, especially when you are still in progress. But what I want you to do is to select the best pair that shows best traits on every drop for best results. Crossbreeding the not virgin female. Guppies are live-bearing freshwater fish with internal fertilization, in which females are able to store sperm arising from a single copulation for up to 8 successive reproductive cycles. Female guppies are highly polyandrous and sperm competition plays a central role in their mating system. Furthermore, females can store sperm for several months and produce a succession of litters from a single insemination. Once inseminated, female guppies can store sperm in their ovaries and gonadoc, which can continue to fertilize the ova up to 8 months. Because of the sperm storage mechanisms, males are capable of posthumous reproduction, meaning the female mate can give birth to the male's offspring long after the male's death. Contributes significantly to the reproductive dynamics of the wild guppy populations. So you need to choose virgin females if you don't want other traits mixed with your breeding pair. Buying multiple strain and cross them right away. Some hobbyists also fall into this trap. When seeing somebody doing the crossbreeding and you are so excited to do the same without thinking first the standard of breeding, like what we've mentioned before. Like for example, when doing the crossbreeding, it will cost you 8 to 10 tanks for your future offspring, and for selective breeding, how much more if you have multiple strains, right? So how do you maintain your mindset of producing the traits that you want? Of course, without proper record keeping, it would blow your mind, trust me. Alright, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully this guide will help you avoid mistakes on Guppy Fish crossbreeding. And by the way, I just want to thank all certified hobbyists in the whole world who supported our channel. Thank you guys so much. And if you have any comments, suggestions, and clarifications, or for more video updates, you can visit our FB page at hobbytv.ph or just click the link below description. And of course, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to get updated on our next video like this one. Please be safe everyone. To God be the glory. Bye bye.